Hello my friends, today we will be talking about Oblivion Remastered. This game is good and I will be telling you why, but I think we also have to be careful about a few things. There is some wokeness in it, and there is some occult Illuminati satanic type symbolism in it. If you are just interested in that part, just skip ahead to the right chapter of the video. The game is good because it is a remastered version of a game released in 2006. That was the golden age of gaming from 1996 to 2010, and that's just because a large amount of quality games were released in different genres. Companies didn't figure out yet how to completely make profits out of a dumb audience, so they allowed developers to be creative and experiment. So that's where Oblivion came in. A role-playing game that didn't show you where exactly to go in every mission. It forced you to think. But by doing so, the regular players who just wanted a power fantasy without having to read through the lore to find solutions felt annoyed by this game design and complained. So on the next game, Skyrim, the Bethesda developers gave them quest markers for absolutely everything and puzzles that even a trained cat can solve. They kept the same recipe of fully guided quests for the rest of their games, such as Fallout and Starfield. I may find this modern quest style as an insult to intelligence, because we are literally following a carrot like a donkey every step of the way. But I also understand that when people come back from a hard day at work, they just want to relax and kill some fictional enemies with a battle axe, with some basic magic, with minimal effort, while enjoying the fantasy power trip and not get forced to read books for clues on how to go to the next place, because that is boring. I will give you 2 examples from my playthrough so far, which were very annoying, yes, but do I appreciate this game design? 100%, even if I had to look up how to pass one of those things. As part of the main quest, you are supposed to find this hideout of a group that worships Mehrunes Dagon, basically the Satan of Elder Scrolls universe that is opening portals throughout the world and unleashing demons which are called Daedras. Of course, in the game they are your enemy, so I'm not going to say that this is the satanic part. I will talk about that later. So in this quest, they don't tell you where the hideout is, they only tell you that the answer is within a book series. In this game you can grab books and read them. Of course they are not like real books. A collection of, let's say, 10 paragraphs makes one book. You do missions to acquire these books, but then what? In Skyrim, after just opening the book and flipping the pages, they would give you the quest marker, but not here, not in Oblivion. Here you get the books and then nothing. A void hits you and you suddenly realize that you are in 2006 when thinking was promoted. So I read the books and found no clues. After that I gave up and looked it up like a coward. It turns out every paragraph started with a letter that was red and bigger than the other letters. If you put them together you get a little riddle. Green Emperor Way, where tower touches midday sun. After I got this clue, I still wanted to use my brain a little, so I was like, okay, the tower is in the center of the map, I have to be there at the midday sun. So I do that, and nothing. I had to look it up again. You have to figure out that between 11:45 AM and 12:30 PM, the shadow of the tower will hit the tomb of Prince Kamaril. And then you can go activate the location of the shrine of the cultist hideout on your map. You can then enjoy the quest marker and go to the Mythic Dawn cult to kick their ass. Is this type of quest design for me? No, but do I appreciate it? Yes. It's only some quests that are like this, not the entire game. You could even add such quests today with an option that you could toggle for the casual gamers to have fully guided quest lines even in such quests. But to completely remove these types of quests is to ignore the needs of the hardcore audience of role-playing games, the people that will love your game the most and stay attached to it for years. The second example is when I was looking for some spies in Bruma from a previous encounter where I lost all my lockpicks due to thinking I was stuck, and the only answer I thought of was to open a chest that had hard lockpicking chance. I wasted all of my lockpicks, and the answer wasn't even that. It was actually a lever on the wall that I didn't see. Oh well. So I lost all of my lockpicks and I had to investigate a spy's house with a door on it that required only an easy lockpicking skill. Great. How to do that without a lockpick? Well, find lockpicks, I guess. There was nothing in the shops, so I thought to go outside, kill some nearby bandits, get their lockpicks and get back to the spy's house. As I was killing some random bandits outside of the walled town of Bruma, I noticed behind some rocks a door. I enter that door out of curiosity and see a tunnel. I investigate this tunnel while dealing with a few pests during this exploration and reach another door. And guess what? It was the door to the spy's house basement. I had the key to the basement and I can't remember exactly how at this moment, but I had it. I entered the house through the basement and I solved the quest in an alternative way. No quest markers, just curiosity and the possibility given by the developers to do something out of the ordinary to finish something. This is great, because I'm not just following a linear carrot, I'm thinking for myself and exploring, and when you actually accomplish something in that way, it feels good. A new type of gaming thinking is being shaped as I play in this style. So in my next problem, which right now is that I have to get some kind of wisp dust to put it somewhere to activate the quest, and there literally is no way right now for me to kill the wisps because I hit them with my barbarian axe and nothing happens. I know for sure that the game wants me to think again, so from previous experience I will say that maybe the game wants me to read some books about how these entities and other entities function in this particular world, and by reading through those I can figure out what their strengths and weaknesses are. This is great because it gives the game a sense of reality. Think about it. You have to think about time, how shadows are being cast by the sun, how to defeat enemies with tactics, and you can find all those answers in the lore or by talking to characters, which makes the world real. You are not following a carrot the whole game, which takes you away from you being immersed in the reality of the game. The only puzzles you get to do in Skyrim, their game which sold 3 times more than this one, is to fit pictures of animals on the floor with pictures of animals on the wall.
Today we are going to solve the pillar puzzle in Bleak Fall Barrows. We have a snake, a whale, and an eagle. If you go up, you can see a snake to the left, and then this one is missing, and then a whale to the right. So now if I go down, I see the missing symbol is a snake. So the solution is snake, snake, and whale. So again, from left to right, we have snake, snake, and a whale. And now I'm going to pull the lever, and the gate open. So that's it. And remember to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And that is disappointing in the evolution of gaming. It is all profit-based driven, and what makes the most profit? To make a game that everyone will play. And in this everyone category, you have to be careful not to annoy them, because if they get stuck somewhere, they will put down the game and tell everyone that it's a difficult game, not worth playing, so the sales will drop drastically from this because of this everyone category. The production cost of a modern mainstream game is hundreds of millions of dollars, so adding complex questing is more expensive and is also a risk that will probably lead to the company not making its money back because it only satisfies a niche category of consumers. This may have worked back when they were fine with having a smaller team and generating a profit of $100 million, but now the team is 5 times the previous size and needs over $500 million in absolute revenue within 1 year to be happy. So for that, you need brain-dead gaming, and it works, because despite the criticism of how boring Starfield is, they still made around $600 million in the year of release. And I guess they would like to have $1 billion total by the next year. At least Skyrim had a cool story and interesting characters with personality. That game made a total of between $1.5 billion and $2.5 billion, with dumbed-down gameplay but still cool story and rememberable characters. So first they dumbed down the gameplay, and now the next step was to dumb down the writing too, so it doesn't offend anybody if it's too crazy. We need safe products, dumbed down gameplay, dumbed down story, dumbed down lifeless characters. $600 million in the year of release. $100 million more than Skyrim's around $450–500 million estimated profit for its first year. But wait a second, that was in 2011, and with inflation over time, Skyrim actually made more value than Starfield. So then, what is it that generated this further dumbing down as a means to get more profit if it didn't work anyway? The lack of talent? Surely not, since Todd Howard, Emil Pagliarulo, and Bruce Nesmith remain in the company. These three guys were responsible, along with Ken Rolston, who is gone now, for the great quest design, stories, and characters in Oblivion. It is, however, true that Ken Rolston was the lead quest designer, but Emil Pagliarulo, who designed the Dark Brotherhood quest and the sneaky mechanics in Oblivion, is his replacement for Starfield. So, sounds like a talented creative guy who would implement some cool things, but that is not the case. Why? I suspect that for some reason the decision was made that in order to make more money, you need to dumb down the gameplay, and in the cultural context, with the political correctness and safe spaces, a decision was also made to make characters that do not provoke in any way the player. So not just characters that do not generate controversial discussions, but also characters that don't express too much emotion. So for example, a character that is too angry or too crazy might offend someone in this casual gamer audience, and so it went to the extent of the characters saying absolutely nothing. Think about how cool and provocative to someone's emotions are the start of games like Oblivion, where the Emperor dies in front of you assassinated by Daedras, or in Skyrim, where you are about to head towards your execution, but suddenly a dragon shows up and you can make your escape, but it's a very dangerous one. And then think about how Starfield starts. I was not impressed by the beginning 5 hours of that game from a gameplay and narrative standpoint. There was nothing to grab me, nothing to care for, and so I just uninstalled it. So how will I tie political correctness culture to Satanism and the Illuminati? Well, it's pretty simple. The Illuminati, or a branch of it. Think how you have the mythic Dawn in Elder Scrolls, where there isn't just one hideout, where a secret society formed of various influential individuals, academics and educators, some wealthy barons and politicians or advisors, all working together to create a more secular society free of the dogma of religion imposed by the Catholic Church in Bavaria, or so they claimed. They operated from 1776 to 1785. The Bavarian Illuminati, founded by Adam Weishaupt, deliberately infiltrated Freemasonic lodges to recruit members and spread their Enlightenment ideals of rationalism, secularism, and societal reform. Here are some important Freemasons and Illuminati members: Adam Weishaupt, founder and strategist; Baron Adolf von Knig, prominent Illuminati recruiter and author of the group's Rituals; Johann Joachim Christoph Bod, publisher, intellectual, and late-stage Illuminati leader. The Illuminati created a secret hierarchy within Masonic lodges, basically infiltrated them using pseudonyms, like Weishaupt was Spartacus, or Knig was Philo, and coded communication. They targeted progressive Masons open to Enlightenment ideas, encouraging them to join the Illuminati's inner circle while maintaining their Masonic membership. By 1782, the Illuminati had infiltrated numerous lodges in Bavaria, Austria, and German states, with estimates of dozens of lodges under partial Illuminati influence. Key regions included Munich, Ingolstadt, Frankfurt, and Weimar. Bavarian government investigations uncovered documents from 1784 to 1785, including Weishaupt's letters, confirming the infiltration. Published works like the original writings of the Order and Sect of the Illuminati, 1787, detail how members like Knig and Bod recruited the Masons. So here's the deal. The Illuminati targeted the top members of who was influential in society back then, except for Catholics, which were their enemy and which posed a great risk for them because they could shut down their organization, which they did eventually. The Illuminati were banned in 1784-1785 by Elector Karl Theodor, a Catholic ruler of Bavaria, under pressure from church authorities and Jesuit-influenced advisors who viewed the group as heretical, anti-Catholic threat, which it was really, and still is, except now they are fully against Christians in general, not just the Catholic power grip. I'm not talking about the exact same Illuminati society from Bavaria, but other secret branches that we don't know about because they weren't exposed and banned like the one in Bavaria. It's like you would have a bunch of mythic dawn shrines all over Cyrodiil, and you would have to discover them and destroy them all, except we can't find them. And look how culture was influenced in the last 100 years in a secular, progressive and anti-Christian way. Look how progressive ideas have evolved from 1784. The Illuminati in 1784 believed in reason over superstition, religion or tradition, in removing religion from governance, promoted social equality and advocating for advancement based on talent and virtue, not birth or wealth. I agree with this. This is the one single point where I agree. Criticizing aristocracy, promoting education but without religion, supporting intellectual liberty, okay, that's fine. Encouraging free inquiry and opposition to censorship, that's also good, particularly by religious authorities. I guess that's what they were dealing with back then. Sought to cultivate rational morality independent of religious dogma to create a virtuous, enlightened society. Criticized absolute monarchy, favoring republican or merit-based governments, though not explicitly revolutionary. Aimed to eradicate prejudices and mystical beliefs. Promoting scientific inquiry and rational explanations. So again, I'm not saying that all the things the Illuminati believed in were bad, but this whole anti-religion thing is not very nice, is it? I understand that they had problems with the Catholics censoring people back in those days, but look how now, with the tables turned, it is the progressives who are now censoring the traditionalists. Hate speech this, hate speech that, ban this, ban that. And look how being progressive has evolved in time into the most dumb ideas and lifestyles. And we are supposed to celebrate them or else we are shunned by society and considered bigots, racists, homophobes, transphobes, lose our jobs. Well, it's not a case in Romania, but just saying about Western trends. Basically, destroy people's lives if they are against these dumb ideas. The Illuminati plan was definitely successful somehow, and in time they evolved more and more, embracing also Satanism and degeneracy. Think about how most of the 70s music was literally inspired by left-hand path black magicians and Satanists like Aleister Crowley, Anton LaVey, and other such dark priests until society in general was manipulated into thinking that all of that stuff was cool. The devil horns, the pentagrams, the mysticism, the rituals, the drugs, etc. Later we find out that these people who influence and rule the world are also into pedophilia, as one can study through the whole Epstein case, and how many rich and powerful or influential people hang out with him on the pedo island. It's no longer a conspiracy theory, folks. Our culture, movies, music, and video games are all influenced by that same culture. And at least when it was just the mysticism and satanic symbols, the games were actually cool. But now, in the political correct age, with all this degenerate trans activism, the games suck, look weird, and are lifeless. We have trans activism in Starfield, and of course they brought it over to Oblivion Remastered as well, where you no longer select from male and female, but from body type 1 and body type 2. This was their poster from when they released their game. It has an all-seeing demonic eye in the middle, which has been the Illuminati symbol forever. I will remind you that the Bethesda Softworks has been also involved in games like The Evil Within, which have scenes like a checkerboard floor with dead bodies over it and an all-seeing eye in the center. This is straight from Masonic symbolism, but turned into evil, and maybe this is the real meaning of what those symbols are. A sacrifice ritual where we are the ones being sacrificed through war, planned epidemics, nanotechnological invasion of the human body, total control. I'm not saying that Bethesda themselves are doing this, but they definitely are part of the culture created by the Illuminati. Bethesda's logo is literally a black cube, which represents the cube of Saturn and is another thing they worship along with the black goo. In fact, that's the real portal to hell that they believe exists. The Evil Within is full of black goo with all-seeing eyes in it, and a plot about an MKUltra style experiment of mind control. I don't think these things happen by chance. So, black cube, what do you think black rock means? It's the same symbolism. And what is black rock? They invest in things all over the world, 11.5 trillion in assets under management as of 2024. So what things do they invest in? Well, Illuminati type things, environmental, climate, low carbon transition, social equality and inclusion, AI. BlackRock invests heavily in AI-driven companies like Nvidia and Microsoft. What's the Nvidia logo? Oh, okay, a stylized eye again. Oh, okay. Here's one of the symbols used by pedophiles according to the FBI. Notice something? I'm not even trying hard to show you this. That's how easy it is to expose this matrix we live in. BlackRock owns stakes in nearly every major United States company, influencing corporate governance via proxy voting. BlackRock managed Federal Reserve bond programs $500 billion in 2020 and advised on post-COVID asset purchases. BlackRock operates in 30 countries, managing pensions, endowments, and sovereign wealth funds, shaping global investment trends. The Illuminati, from 1776, championed rationalism, secularism, equality, education, and anti-monarchical reform. BlackRock's progressive investments, economic inclusion, sustainability, and technology mirror some of these, particularly equality via community funds and rationalism via science-driven ESG. The Illuminati is still kicking. Bethesda Softworks, the company that makes Elder Scrolls games, even its name is biblically inspired. In the Bible, Bethesda means House of Mercy or House of Grace, referring to a Jerusalem pool in John 5:2-9, where the sick sought healing. The story emphasizes Jesus' divine power as he heals a man without pool's waters, showing mercy and fulfilling the pool's symbolic name. Why did the gaming company took this name? To promote Jesus Christ? Not really. To promote games about defeating demons with magic. But is this magic from Jesus or God? No, it's some fictional universe inspired from Aleister Crowley type magic. In Skyrim, you can sacrifice people to get the Mace of Molag Bal, one of the most powerful weapons in the game. There are many other examples. You can do cannibal rituals and all kinds of morally questionable activities to get access to powerful weapons. As you gain levels in Skyrim, you literally absorb the spirit of the dragons you slay within you. That's not you defeating evil foes by your own powers, but by getting possessed by a spirit or multiple such dragon spirits to get stronger. And it's the same in Doom, another Bethesda published game about demonic portals, where you absorb the argent energy from hell and put it inside you to get stronger. You are not fighting evil with good, but rather with evil. Thus the game also becomes subtly and subliminally evil and satanic, unfortunately. This is some Aleister Crowley type stuff, because in Elder Scrolls Oblivion, magic is written with CK, just like Aleister Crowley wrote the same word. I'm curious what will be used to stop the big Mehrunes Dagon in a hell portal in Oblivion, as I have not finished the game. So imagine, these are highly addictive games that you can spend 1,000 hours on if you want. 1,000 hours surrounded by mysticism and occultist inspired lore, or you can watch Bethesda approved shows like the Fallout series, which basically promotes communism. You can watch this propaganda and occultist stuff for a long time. But how much time do you dedicate to God from your life? Exactly. We spend time into all this stuff that was made out of the hate of God, and we don't spend any time with the one who loves us and wants to truly give us eternal life. And I am also a victim of this. I can only do my part out of this abyss and try to promote what is good and steer the balance away from this Illuminati influence through these videos that I make. It's not like I want to make this. It takes a lot of time to make these videos. But if you know something, it's your responsibility to share it with everyone else. So I suggest you do that too. If they have their propaganda, we can have our counter-propaganda. And if you are an atheist, I mean, the fact that these people believe in some strange stuff should make you question if you should be led by them. Or if you should endorse when they say that Christians are evil and should be removed because of hate speech and blah blah blah. Think about the censorship that they do. Think about that they obsess to control everything. So I'm not trying to rant too much. My friends, play the game, but don't let it turn you into an occultist, because, you could be saying, oh, this stuff is cool. This stuff is cool. I wonder if I can do some magic in real life. And then you go to the mall in the library section and there's all kinds of new age books and magic nonsense in the spiritual section that can't wait to mess with your spirit. You think you are doing some innocent house cleansing and purifying the energies, and next thing you know, Mehrunes Dagon pops out from a portal and eats your spirit. I mean, I'm just joking, but there is some truth to this. I have a friend from United States who messed with black magic, and then he literally was attacked spiritually on a regular basis, and the only way he could get free again was by being exorcised at the church with the power from God. I won't give you much detail, but this spiritual world does exist, and it's better to stay clean because we only have one life and it's so easy to destroy it. And what does the mainstream say? Oh, you only have one life, so party. No, we have one life, and in this life we can access the key to eternal life through Jesus Christ and God. So don't destroy that chance. I hope you get the point. Enjoy Oblivion, but be aware of these things I said. If you like what I'm doing, please look in the descriptions for ways you can support me. This is Vostok Vlad, formerly Games Exposed, signing out.
Who's there?
Hello, who's there?
Die!
The time of cleansing is almost here.
Pathetic worm!
Paradise awaits.
This is the part where you fall down and bleed to death!
The dawn is breaking.
Will survive the cleansing.
I'm on your side!
The time of cleansing is almost...
All visitors to the Imperial Palace are asked to keep their voices down, especially if the Council is in session.